Today I've got my thoughts on WWE Crown Jewel, and as an overall, this special event or pay-per-view sucked. It was awful. Enough said. And no, I'm not going to end it right there. I'll go into detail on everything that happened for the event for you guys, which will start off with the kickoff show, which was the U.S. title match, which was Shinsuke Nakamura defending against Rusev. The match was good. The only thing that I didn't like was the title didn't change hands. We needed at least some sort of title change, even though it isn't really technically a pay-per-view. It's just some special event they did. But that title change could have really benefited both superstars, I feel. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the kickoff show and the U.S. title match. But now we'll move on in no particular order, but we'll start off with the SmackDown Tag Team title match, which was The Bar defending against The New Day. And this match wasn't bad. The ending was actually one of the better endings for any of the matches for this Crown Jewel event. And so, as an overall, I really didn't mind this match. It wasn't perfect at all. None of these matches were perfect. None of them were relatively good. They were all either repeats or just boring snooze matches. Even with the ones with Rey Mysterio in them. But, yeah. And it's like, that match was quite boring. And then, now we'll move on to the one of the World Cup 8-man tournament things. We'll start off with Rey Mysterio taking on Randy Orton. The match was relatively good for the thing. For the tournament, and Rey winning was actually a good thing. And he was my pick to win the tournament, which unfortunately he didn't win. If you ask me, he got screwed out of the win because he got cheaply attacked by Randy Orton after the match. So Randy Orton was ticked because of a roll-up win by Rey. And so that set him off, and he attacked Rey, which was typical of Orton's new character, which makes sense. But, yeah. So Rey wasn't coming into his match against The Miz 100%, which The Miz beat Jeff Hardy in the first round on the SmackDown side of things for the World Cup tournament. And then Seth Rollins beats Bobby Lashley, which was a good match, relatively good match. One thing that really disappoints me on the World Cup tournament on the Raw side was Kurt Angle didn't win his match. We could have had at least some sort of a dream match at this Crown Jewel event. If they wanted to make it special, why not give us a dream match basically for free? But you know it isn't. But getting a Seth Rollins Kurt Angle match could have been really, really fun instead of a match that we saw all summer long with Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins. Boring. And that match made absolutely no sense, which Dolph Ziggler beat Kurt Angle in the first round, and then he goes on to make it all the way to the finals of the tournament to face The Miz, or so we thought. Miz attacked Ziggler before the match, and then he's unable to somehow miraculously, he's unable to compete in the match. And then Shane McMahon beats Dolph Ziggler in like 30 seconds. And then they say Shane McMahon's the best in the world. He wasn't even in the dang tournament! That makes absolutely no sense. I'd say they do a redo on that matchup with The Miz and Ziggler to actually decide who the best in the world is at Survivor Series. That's what I would like to see. Then we figure out actually who is the best in the world between those two. But it's like, really? That's how they end it? Sure, SmackDown won the tournament. But it doesn't make any sense. A guy that wasn't even in the tournament technically won the tournament. And that's pretty much it on the entire World Cup tournament thing they did at the Crown Jewel event. And there was just a couple more matches after that, which would be the DX versus Brothers of Destruction tag team main event, which was really, really quite good for, you got 4 guys in there that are over 15 over, putting on I think it was like a half-hour match. So that was relatively good for all 4 of them. And Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement. The only bad thing about the match, Shawn Michaels needs to grow his hair back from now until WrestleMania if he's going to compete at WrestleMania. That's all I say. But, yeah. The only dislike about the entire main event is the fact that Shawn Michaels didn't have his traditional long hair and he went bald, just like Triple H. That's the only fact that's the only real thing I really disliked about the whole main event. And now we'll get into the absolute worst match of the entire show. Probably the worst match I've seen since WrestleMania, since the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was also held in Saudi Arabia. What a surprise. But it's Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman battling for the vacant Universal title, which Roman Reigns had to legitimately vacate for his battle with leukemia. Which, the match sucked. It sucked. Baron Corbin attacks Strowman with the title. Strowman hits 4 F5s, or 5 F5s on Strowman, and it's done. And Lesnar's got another 500-day title run under his belt, because Roman Reigns will probably be out of action for another 2 to 3 years while he battles this leukemia. So that probably means nobody's going to be able to step up and face Brock Lesnar for the title. Way to go, WWE. And it's like, wow, that is just awful. And another thing that I really dislike is, next month, Survivor Series, we're getting another repeat of a match we had last year. AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar. If it was AJ Styles versus Braun Strowman, I'd be interested. AJ versus Lesnar, we know exactly how that's going to happen, how that's going to go. Lesnar's going to hit a couple moves and an F5, and AJ's going to get pinned. Again, by Lesnar. Wow. So, as an overall, this is definitely the worst pay-per-view I've ever watched. Probably ever. And I give it a solid F for a grading. Yeah, I don't normally grade things, but this gets a solid F. But, yeah, so I'm pretty ticked about this, and I know it's all scripted and all, but I'm still pretty ticked. Why in the world can't Raw have a solid champion for their top title? Once again, Seth Rollins is going to be holding the top title. If they want Seth to be the top star of Raw with Roman Reigns out of action, here's an idea. Have him face Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series instead of facing AJ Styles and have him face Lesnar for the title and have him beat him. There's an idea. Yeah, so there's my thoughts and hopeful predictions for Survivor Series, as well as my thoughts on WWE Crown Jewel. So you guys can tell me if you watched this in the comments section below. And this will probably be my last video for a while. So you guys can possibly not expect to see any videos until my 3-year anniversary video, which will be the end of December, because I feel like I really want to just take a break from videos for you guys, just so I can regenerate and refresh myself. So you guys can still tell me your thoughts on this video in the comment section below, and just like and subscribe for more, because I will do more in the future.